So in the month of September, no, October, no, August, dear Lord. So this is what my TBR looked like in August. I knew that was going to happen. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with September's TBR. It's going to be chaos. So September, oh, it's gonna be a chaotic month. Let's just start with that. I am participating in 2 readathons in September. So in the month of September, I am participating in Becca's Bookopoly, which is hosted by Becca and the Books, and it is a TBR game based on her TBR, which is based on Monopoly. And then I'm also participating in the newly redone Magical Readathon by G over at Book Roast. So I will be vlogging the entire month. I already had plans to vlog the entire month, and now I'm really vlogging the entire month because I have 2 readathons to do. But also, on top of that, obviously we're going to have the normal TBR game. But both of these readathons are created in such a way that I can't double up within the readathon. So I can double up across readathons. Like I can read a book for both my TBR, the Bookopoly, and then also Magical Readathon, but I can't double up within one readathon. So it's this guy, it's gonna be crazy. So we're gonna section this video off if you are here for a specific reason. So we'll start with my lovely TBR game, and then we'll go into the roles from Bookopoly, and then we'll quickly go over the prompts that I have for Magical Readathon. So it's gonna be chaotic. Hopefully she'll be nice to me. We'll see. I have a feeling I just jinxed that. But before we even start anything, let's take a quick look at last month to see if we have any punishments, and then we'll get right into all of the craziness that are the TBRs. I also apologize for how long this video is going to be. It's going to be crazy. Alright, so here's a look at my TBR from August. It's probably going to fall at literally any second. Well, we started with Jane in Love by Rachel Givney, which was to read a book that's inspired by Jane Austen. Slay by Brittany Morse, which was to read a book on current events. I think then we had Neon Gods, which was to read a book out of your comfort zone. We had Dreaming Sun Part 2, or Volume 2, which was to read a book in one sitting. Lore, which was to read a retelling. Stranger in My Arms, which was to read a cover by. 7 Days, which was to read a book not set in the US. The Honey Don't List, which was to read I think it was a romance. Curse of the Wolf King, which is to read a recently purchased book. My Contrary Mary, which is to read a book inspired by history. And all the way down here is The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is to read a book that I got because of BookTube. So with about a week left in the month, I've got these 3 books I haven't actually finished yet. So we have Slay, which I'm currently in the middle of, and I'm probably going to finish in the next couple of days. We have Stranger in My Arms by Lisa Kleypas, which is a pretty small... I go through historical romances really, really quickly, so this one will take like 2 days. The only one I don't think I might finish is Lore, and honestly I'm thinking about DNFing it. It's just like, not that I'm disliking it, it's just like, I'm not feeling it right now, you know? So we might put that on pause, but because I've started it, I'm not going to give myself a punishment, because I will for sure finish these by the end of the month. This one will be the issue, but I will have started it and given it a shot. So I'm gonna not count a punishment for the month just because of the ridiculousness that is already going to be this TBR. I don't want to add anything else. So, yeah, that's my reasoning. So let's get into the TBR picks. Whew, so many fingers crossed. And toes, too. Pick number 1. This one. Oop, A to Z book. So we're off to just a fantabulous start of not being able to actually pick what I want. And this is an A to Z book, which basically just means I need to find a random letter generator, generate a random letter, and the book has to start with that letter, minus like A or the or something like that. So I'm screen recording my computer, so I'll plop it right here. But I found this random letter generator online. So we're going to give it a shot and just hope it's something that will be nice that I can, you know, use for multiple readathons. All right, let's see. R. So actually I have two options that I'm thinking about, and I think I'm actually going to go with The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. This is, I have this on my Kindle. This is a book that I picked up because I don't remember, I think it used to be called Wanna Bet or something like that, but it got a rebrand and a new name and a new cover, and it looks stunning. And Talia Hibbert posted about it online and said this was one of her favorite books that she has ever written. And I love me some Talia Hibbert, so if she says she's happy with this book and proud of it, I obviously want to read it. I think it's about a girl who has to move in with her best friend for some reason, and he has like this huge crush on her, but he's always said that he's never going to live with her because of that reason, and he doesn't want to put himself in that situation, and then something happens and they do get in that situation, and it's like a friends to lovers romance. I love Talia Hibbert's writing so much, so I'm really excited to give this one a shot. Oh, I'm so excited. Pick number 2. This one. Which is, here we go. Read a book with a light cover. The next one is to read a book with a light cover, and this I think counts because I want to fit it in this month. I've got some books that I'm saving for fall, so I'm trying to read some of them in September and some of them in October, so I'm not just like saving them all for 1 month. I think I would consider this light, and that is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This, I would consider this a light cover, but this is one of, I think, the only books I own by her that is not a Hercule Poirot mystery. I think I am correct on that assumption, but this sounds really great. It's about a bunch of people who get called to this manor on, I believe it's an island, and there's this old nursery rhyme, and then the people start dying based on said nursery rhyme. I love Agatha Christie. This feels like a good thriller to kind of start off the fall with, and I'm excited. So I'm going to consider this a light cover. Pick number 3. Maybe. There we go. And this one is read a secondhand bought book. The next one is to read a book that you bought secondhand. So I recently picked this up. I don't think you would have seen it yet. I think I picked this up at the beginning of August. And that is People We Meet on a Vacation by Emily Henry. Yes, I have both of her books, and no, I have not read Beach Read yet. Here we are. But I've heard this is fantastic. My best friend Lauren really, really likes it. I was literally talking about this yesterday with a couple of my friends on Instagram, Tay and Brooke, that I'm reading the Cassadere books with. And they said that this is great and that I would enjoy it. So I'm definitely going to give it a shot. Also, a cousin of ours loves this book. So I'm really excited about this. But it's like a friends to lovers kind of situation. Now, it is set in summer, so I'm a little worried because I'm not really in the summer feel right now. So I'm going to see if I can try to finish this or read this near the beginning of the month before it actually is fall. But it's like two friends who go on vacation and like fall in love. I don't know, it sounds great. I'm really excited about it. I love some good friends. So we're going to give it a shot. And plus I'd love to read something by Emily Henry just to say that I have. You know? Number 4. This one. Oh, pick a cozy read. So the next one is a cozy read, which is perfect because y'all know I like to snuggle with tea or coffee or hot drink and this chair right here and just love to read. So this will be perfect for that. We're starting to get closer to fall. We're starting to get closer to that cozy weather feel. So, well, fingers crossed. I don't know about where you are, but where I am, it is not cold yet. I think what I'm going to go with is How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. This is like 3.5 in the series, but it's super short. It just seems like it's just a fun kind of like children's fairy tale type of story, and I will definitely want to sit down with some of these stunning like works of art within this book, and like the cover is very pretty as well. So I'm gonna say that that is cozy. Pick number 5. Here we go. Author random letter. Alright, so here we are yet again with a random generator. I got out of the random letter generator because I thought I was done, and we're not. So here we go. Plop it up here. Let's see what we got. Z. I don't have anything. I have one book with Z, but it's like a collection of stories, and the author with the Z is the editor of it. So yeah, I don't really have anything. So we're going to try this again. Is that an L or an I? I'm going to go with that being a lowercase L. L. Think after much debate with myself. I'm gonna go with a Joanna Lindsey book, and I'm gonna go with A Man of My Dreams. Not in love with this cover, not gonna lie. But this is one of the first, I've got a lot of Joanna Lindsey. Y'all know this if you've seen any of my recent hauls. I went a little cray-cray, so we've got a lot of her. But this is one of the ones that I picked up first, so I'm gonna go with that being my answer. But this, I believe, follows this woman named Megan who has her sights set on Ambrose St. James, and he has decided that he's never going to marry, and then she has like flirting with her horse breeder Devlin, who is actually this guy in disguise. So don't know how that's going to work, but looks fun. I love Joanna Lindsey, so I'd like to get back into some of her books, and it's a mass market historical romance that y'all know I get through rather quickly. Pick number 6. Here we go. Got, oh, random shelf number. Good lord. This TBR is gonna kill me. So the next one is random shelf number, which is, we've had before, but it's been a while. And basically that just means I'm gonna count how many shelves I have. I'm gonna do a random number generator, and whatever comes up, I have to pick something on that shelf to read. So it narrows down what I have to pick from, but I still don't really get to decide. So let's do some counting. 27-ish. Okay, so there's about 27 shelves of like actual things to read. Some of them aren't for me, some of them are just collections. So here we go again. Random number generator. Alrighty, so what did I say? 27? 27. 12. 12. The shelf under this one that you can't see is the one that I have. So that is the second half of like my historical fiction / the beginning of my historical romance, like mass market paperback. So I have a book, but I don't have a specific book, if that makes any sense. So this is where my Tessa Dare collection lives. So, as of recording this, I have mentioned that I have been doing buddy reads with Tessa Dare books with my friends Tay and Brooke. I will leave their Instagrams down below. They're fantastic. But we don't have a book picked out for September quite yet, but it would be there if we do. So I'm going to, if we know by the time I put this video out, I'll plop the picture here, but it'll be a Tessa Dare book, whatever one we decide. That's what I'm going to pick for this. Kind of snuck a buddy read in there, so I'll count that as a win. Pick number 7. There you go. Alright, read a book including something you'd want to do. The next one is to read a book including something that you would want to do, which is unfortunate because I've picked things already for this TBR that would work fantastic for this prompt, but here we are. So I'm actually going to go with 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison. This is the first in her, I believe it's called the 13 Treasures trilogy. That's a tongue twister. But I am buddy reading these with my lovely friend Teresa. So we're starting this trilogy this month. And I'm going to say that this works for this prompt because it's about fairies and how our main character can see and talk to fairies, and like, wouldn't that be cool if fairies existed and like you could talk to them? You know? I'm excited, but it's a middle grade book and I need to get me some more middle grades in. I just don't read enough. And I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm gonna say the magical elements are things that I would want to be able to do / be around. So that's my answer. And number 8. Here we go. Parent pick. Okay. Alright, and the last one for this TBR, which, good lord, I'm going to be here forever, is also one I can't choose. So we got parent pick, which means I need to contact my mom, because when we got this last, my dad picked it. So we're going to switch to her for this one, let her know it's coming, and then we'll talk to her when she gets a second, and I'll come back when we've talked to her and we'll tell you what she chooses. Hello, it is later. Gonna give Mom a FaceTime real quick on the husband's phone. Why is it not unlocking? There we go. Face record, put Mom on up here, and we will have her pick a book for me. Don't know what we're gonna do. I'm interested, you know? Scared, but interested. Here we go. Calling Mom here. Oh, I hope the light's okay. Hi!
Hi!
So, you have free range of whatever you want, but it's your choice what I read, basically.
Okay, I got something for you to read.
I'm ready, I think. I'm scared.
Why?
I don't know. Just because my TBR has become ridiculous. Like, as far as how big it is.
Well, that's not my problem.
That is true. That is very true. It is completely not your fault. It is my fault.
You got yourself into that.
Yeah.
I have a book for you that I read.
Okay.
That didn't come from your shelf.
Shocking. That's shocking.
Most of my books come from you. I don't buy them. Okay. So, I have this book. It was given to me by my sister to read.
Okay.
It's called The Boys in the Boat.
The minute you said your sister, I was wondering if that's the one you were going to pick.
Yeah, it's by Daniel James Brown.
Okay.
And it's on here, 9 Americans and their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
Ooh.
It's a true story, but it's actually really interesting. It's about these boys that were on the crew, and they're all from different, socioeconomic backgrounds, and it follows each of them up to this, this big race in Berlin. It's actually interesting tells a lot about the times, what was happening in the times in 36. And it's out in Portland, so that's why my sister was in Portland. Was interested in the story, but it's really interesting. It's a true story, and it's not really a romance, but it might have a little romance in there. Probably not something that you would pick up yourself to read.
Probably not.
I have it here.
Okay. I will pick it up soon.
And you can come get it at my house.
I'll come get it at your house.
You can come get it at my house.
That sounds great. I'll do that.
That sounds good to me too. Okay. That's it. I hope it fits into some other.
It fits into one others. I positioned it so that it would fit somewhere else.
No matter what it was?
No matter what it was.
Okay.
So, I was prepared. Okay. So, okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
That's exciting. Yeah, this is the book Mom picked for me. It's a nonfiction. I have heard her talk about it before. So, the minute she said my aunt, I knew what she was talking about. So yeah. We'll see what happens. So now that we're done with my regular monthly TBR, now we're going to go into my Bookopoly TBR. So I will leave the announcement video down below if you'd like to go check it out. But basically, there's a board. Where's my board? Here's my board that she's created for this readathon. And you just play it like Monopoly. I believe it's 6 times. And then if you get doubles, you add prompts to it. So in theory, we'll have 6. In reality, we'll probably have more than that. I'm hoping I can double up on everything. But knowing my luck, it won't be that way. So let's just get into it, shall we? Alright, so here is the Bookopoly board. It's a little smaller than last year, so I had to find a different token. So I found this really tiny shell. Hopefully it'll work. So let's get right on into it. Let's get started. Oh, so that's a 1 and that is a 2, so 3. 1, 2, 3. A small book that's under 300 pages. The first one is to read a book that is less than 300 pages, which is freaking perfect, I say as I'm checking just to make sure that this is actually Under 300. Oh yeah, it's definitely under 300 pages. So I'm going to go with A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the tiny novella that she wrote between the first ACOTAR part of the series and then the new one, which is Silver Flames, that just came out not too long ago. But I really want to get to that, but I want to read the little novella first, and it is quite short. I don't actually know what this one follows. They are doing something with the winter solstice in the Night Court. Sounds great. Roll number 2. 7. Oop, a TBR game. So the next one is just a TBR game. I thought about doing like Gavin's TBR game since that's what's on the actual board, but decided to be nice to myself and just go with one of my prompts from my TBR game. So I'm going to plop in the one that Mom picked for me is the one that I'm going to be using for this because I couldn't choose that one at all and it feels appropriate to use as a TBR game prompt. So Mom's pick is going to go for this prompt. Roll number 3. All right, another 7. Oh, a community shelf card. So the next one is community shelf, which in theory you would have little cards with prompts on them, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to use my own TBR game and pull something out of the basket. Because why not? It's got prompts. All right, for community shelf, let's see. I'll do this one. And read a book that came out this month. Alright, so we got read a book that comes out in September. So the only one I can think of, I don't actually have a copy yet, obviously. It comes out on the 7th, which is Portrait of a Scotsman, which is the 3rd book in the Extraordinary Women's series by Evie Dunmore. I love this series. It is a historical romance that is kind of set around suffragettes in Oxford. And it's these 4 women who are really close friends, and it's just each of their stories. And this is the 3rd one. I'm excited and I love it. So that's going to be my answer. Number 4. Oh, our first double. All right, 8. All right, and that is a buzzword. So something with these names in it. So the next prompt was kind of a buzzword space, and this one is things like times of day, night, day, you know, midnight, morning, stuff like that. And I'm not even kidding you when I tell you I literally have nothing. I've got nothing. So I'm stretching it a little bit, because I'm going to go with volume 4 of Dreaming Sun. It's got sun in it. So not a time of day, but maybe because like sunrise, sunset could work, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one, maybe cheating. I got nothing. So I have been loving the series. This is the 4th installment, and I read the last couple last month, and I've been loving it. But it follows a girl who doesn't feel loved at home. Her dad has remarried and they have just had a kid, and she kind of feels like no one wants her there. So she decides to run away and meets a man in the park who says, I've got a place for you to live, but I need you to do some things for me. Basically, a couple of them are like, tell me why you're running away, help me find some keys, and then also I need you to have a dream and fall in love. And she's like, oh, I can do that. And so this is just the 4th installment in that journey. I am wholeheartly invested and loving this one, so I can't wait to see where it goes. It's been ridiculous and I'm excited, but sun, that's my answer. Alrighty, roll number 5 is 8. Another community shelf. Alright, we got another community shelf, so let's go plop in and see what the basket has. Here we go. Do this one, which is a recent purchase within the last month. Alright, so a recent purchase within the last month, which is perfect because I already have People We Met on Vacation by Emily Henry on this TBR because I bought it the beginning of August. So, yeah, that's my answer. Number 6. 7. Right, we landed on Go, which is to randomize your TBR. Alright, the next one is randomized TBR. So I'm going to pull up my random number generator again, and my TBR from Goodreads. So I'll plop this here. So it says we have 340 in my Goodreads TBR. So 340 will generate, which is 192. Shoot, what did I say? 192? Is that right? 192 is Unmarriageable by Sonia Kamal. I don't have this, so I'm going to need to pick it up. But this is a kind of Pride and Prejudice retelling, I believe, if I am correct. Yeah. Oh, it's got a new cover. I'm used to seeing this little blue one down here. Yeah, it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling. I am excited. We'll have to pick this one up, but that's going to be my choice for this one. Or, well, not my choice, the TBR's choice. And hopefully the last prompt. We'll see. Number 7. And I jinxed it. Okay, 12. Alright. Ooh, a mood read. Alright. So the next one is a mood read, which I'm going to partially pick here. It's going to be that Tessidaire book that I mentioned earlier. Again, if we know it, I'll plop it up here. But I'm always in the mood for some historical romance, so I'll pick it even though I don't know what it is yet. But that's going to be my mood reading answer. Alright, roll number 8. Alright, the last one. 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, something with current events. And then the last one is to read a book on current events. So I am going to go with another middle grade, and this one is going to be Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. So this follows Jude, who was from Syria, and she just moved to Cincinnati, actually, with some relatives. Now, it's told in verse, which I think is really, really cool. And so even though it's a completely different country, it's still in the Middle East where she came from. So I'm going to say this because it's somewhat similar, I would say, to kind of what's happening in Afghanistan right about now. And so maybe I'm very wrong about that, but it just kind of gives me those vibes. So that's my answer. Yeah, so she's kind of coming to America and in American school for the first time. I love things written in verse, so I'm really excited about that. But I've had this on my TBR for a while. It looks stunning, and I'm really excited to give it a try. Finally, we're here for Magical Readathon. I will leave her announcement video down below. Seriously, check it out. It's fantastic. It has all of the kind of paper you will need for this. So there are technically 7 prompts that you need to complete the first kind of year of it. And there are 3 extra prompts that don't need to be completed this month, but need to be completed before April because they're more like your person, whereas the first 7 are like, there's like a path that you're following. I know I'm not making a lot of sense, but go check out her video and everything will make sense. So I do have books picked out just in case I get to the extra 3, but so let's just go ahead and start. So the first one is the Novice Path Entrance, and that is to read a book with a map in it. So I'm going to go with The Court of Frost and Starlight just because it's small. And also there is this lovely map. She has a map in almost all of her ACOTAR books, so I figured there'd be one in here. So that's my choice for that one. Then we're going to go with Ashton Tree, which is a book that keeps tempting you. So I'm actually going to be picking up a Desperate Measures, which is the first in the Wicked Villains series by Katie Robert. So I read Neon Gods last month, even though it's a totally different series, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to continue. I really am excited about this, and I did find the audiobook on my Hoopla, so I'm hoping to, I've got it on my Kindle, so I'm hoping to do kind of like a dual listen and read. But yeah, that's gonna be my choice, because I like literally, I have the entire series. I bought the entire series on Kindle because I so desperately want to read this. The next one is The Mist of Solitude, which is to read a standalone. So I'm going to be picking up Other Words for Home for this one. The next one is Ruin of the Sky, and that is to read a book featuring supernatural elements. So I'm going to be picking up The Lost Mage by Bill Alderson. This follows a kid named Maximus who is a mage, but he's always hated magic. And this sounds like he's in a very corrupt world where there are 4 ruling families that are just awful. And so one day his magic erupts from him killing the son of a master, and so he's forced to kind of be that son, like stand in the shoes and pretend to be that person. I have no idea what I'm getting into, but everything this author writes sounds incredible. I know a lot of the stuff, a lot of the characters he writes about are gay, which love that rep in fantasy books. I do also have pre-ordered his newest thing that's coming out, probably out by the time you see this, and also his other trilogy that he's already written is maybe on its way to me. I have a problem. Anyway, I'm excited to give this a shot. Everything sounds great. I've read snippets of his work, so I know that his writing style is exactly what I want. But yeah, magical, supernatural-ish elements. He's magic. There's a dragon on here. I'm excited. This cover's also really stunning. The next one is Obsidian Falls, and that is to read a thriller or a mystery book. So I'm going to go with my Agatha Christie book, And Then There Were None, for this prompt. The next one is Tower of Ruination, I think is what that's supposed to say, and that is to read a 5-star prediction. So I'm going to go with The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert, because it's definitely a 5-star prediction for me. And the last kind of regular prompt for this readathon is Aurelium Academy arc, and that is to read a book with a school setting. So I've been holding off on reading this book specifically because it feels like fall, and that is The Ravens, which is by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I believe this is a first in a series. Am I right on that? I might be wrong on that. But it basically follows these girls at college in sororities, but the specific sorority is full of witches. There's more. I think crazy stuff happens on campus. And we follow a girl who's new and I think gets accepted into this group. But witchy vibes give me that fall feeling, and I wanted to read this in the fall. So I've been holding off on this for a while, but it's definitely got a school setting because it's set in college, which sounds really cool. And I'm very interested in that whole like sorority plot line we've got here. So that's my answer for that one, or my answer for this prompt. That's what I'm going to read. And then we've got 3 more prompts. Real quick, I'm going to add, which are the ones that you need to kind of create your character, which you're going to need next April. I believe it's going to be in April. The first one is background, and that is kind of, you got choices of what you want to do. I'm going to go with wilding, which is someone who likes to be outside, kind of in the country rather than the city, and that is to read a book set in the forest or outside. So I'm going to be picking up Uprooted at some point by Naomi Novik, hopefully this month. We'll see. This is, I believe, semi-Beauty and the Beast retelling. I've never read anything by Naomi Novik, but I've heard incredible things about her writing. I've heard this is very kind of like creepy, spooky, especially the forest portions of this book. But it's basically set place in this valley and in this village that basically gives up a daughter to this mysterious monster. Oh, he's no wizard known as the dragon. So it's every 10 years, and then it's our main girl's being chosen, I think, this time. So, I don't know, but it gives me those creepy fairy tale vibes, so that's what I'm going to go with. And also, like, I feel like majorly set in the forest, so that's going to be my answer for that one. The next one is your province, like where you were going to be living. I chose the island, I think is the best word, island of Arithia, maybe is how you say it, and that is to read a book featuring fae or elven creatures. I'm going to go with Blood and Promise, the first in the Fae Rising series by Miranda Lynn. This book is one that my friend Taylor, who owns the company Kindness and Candles, has been raving about. She even made a candle based on this book right here. It's called Blood and Promise. And so I said, well, if you've made a candle, then obviously I need to read this. So it is a trilogy, I believe, and I just picked up the first one to give it a shot. It is indie published. I'm very excited about it. Also, these chapter heads are stunning. I knew at one point what this is about, but it's got fae in the series. So obviously it's about fae. This is giving me semi-ACOTAR vibes. Maybe it's just the fae portions of it. I don't actually know. I'm excited to get invested. It looks like it's set in about court life as well. Love it. Gonna hopefully read this at some point soon for this extra prompt. And then the very last one, which is Heritage, and I chose Elf, and that is Moon or Stars on the cover. Because I don't actually have to decide yet, I have 2 options for this one. I'm not entirely sure which one I'm going to go with. We have Heart of the Raven Prince by Tessonia Odette. This is the sequel to her Curse of the Wolf King that I read last month. It is a companion sequel. It's set in the same world, but they're totally different. You can read them out of order. This is a Cinderella retelling. So it's got some moons on here, and I would consider, like, oh, there's some stars back there. So that one is possibly winning, but that's an option. And then we also have this one, which is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. So you've got these maybe stars, and I would consider that a moon-looking thing. I've got some stuff on the back too. This is basically like Jane Austen meets Regency England, which sounds great. So these are both indie authors, so I'm not sure which one I want to go with, but it's going to be one of these two. But again, don't have to decide, so these will probably be like the end of the month, maybe? We'll see. And dear Lord, that is it. I've been here for over an hour. This is the longest of the raw footages for TBR I've ever had. Hopefully this doesn't take forever to edit. It probably will. But I hope that you enjoyed this redonkulousness that is this TBR. Again, I will be vlogging the entire month of September for both of these readathons. If you would like to stay tuned and see the craziness that I've gotten myself into. Looking at the books I have here, none of them are too large, so that's a plus. They're all relatively small, but I've got a lot of indie publishers on here, and indie authors, so that makes me very happy. I'm very happy about that. But that's it. Those are the books that I have picked out, or have been picked out for me for this TBR. I hope you enjoyed. If you're participating in both or either of the readathons, please let me know some of the books that you're planning on reading this month. If you're participating in Magical Readathon and you've kind of picked your person and picked your, created your person that you're going to be, let me know what that is. I would love to know. But if you like this video, and I very much hope that you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media as well as other fun bookish links down there, so don't forget to check all of those out. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!